Good morning, world. Wow, what a beautiful morning, and thank God for this beautiful sunrise. And I'd like to thank Ate Amalia Kyle for your prayer for me and for your encouraging words to upload this King James Bible. And since then, I've been reading. Verse of today, Psalm 53.2. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand, that did seek God. Wow, that's a good verse of today. Inspiration. God is always searching for those who are ready to listen to His message. So often we may be too busy and wrapped up in our own lives and pressures that we may neglect to keep our own eyes and hearts open to Him. In this way, we may be in danger of becoming like those who reject God outright, for we have turned our back on His message also. Be sure to realize that every day, what is most important is God, who wishes to always for His children to see Him. Wow. Prayer. Lord of heaven and the earth, hallowed be your name. Help me keep my heart open to receive your word and your light in my everyday life. Let me not be like those who ignore your truth and shut you out of my world. Grant me the wisdom to know what is most important today and every day. My service and devotion to your message, Lord, in your mercy, I pray. Amen. Wow, that's a good prayer, guys. Thank you. Shout out to all my friends here, all my viewers, especially Salvis Life, Lita McDonald from Texas, who needs a prayer for her stage 1 lung cancer, guys. Yoli Nukon Torres from Tarlac City, Philippines. And to all my friends here. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys. Oh, sunrise. Sounds of the wave takes away my loneliness and always takes me back all the way to as far as I can remember. I always remember this town called Rawis in Calbayog City, Western Samar, Philippines. And our nipa hut, it was cute nipa hut, that the wall was made out of coconut leaves. We called it sulirap in Visayan language. And our split bamboo flooring. Wow, that was cool. And in the back had 3 steps down to our dirt floor kitchen. That we had 3 brown rocks, big rocks, as our wooden stove. And behind our nipa hut was a sweet potato field. I can't remember who it was belonged to. And my grandma Juana and my cousin Piping and my little brother Merlito and I, each of us was carrying a sack before dark, and we would fill each sack with sweet potato leaves, vegetable. Then we go home and we would tie a handful size into a bundle, and we put them into a big 2 basins that was half full of water to keep them fresh overnight. Then the next day, my grandma Juana would wake us up, me and my cousin Piping, before dawn, and start walking down the street with basins of sweet potato leaves, vegetable on top of our heads, and start shouting the words, Wela, Wela ganas. That was our words, as loud as we can so people can hear what we were selling. It was a long walk and all day from Rawis, Bagakay, and to Calbayog City. 3 towns. I remember I used to get really angry with Piping because he walked so fast. And he would command me to hurry up. I need to walk fast too because the cement was too hot. We were barefooted. I guess Grandma never bothered to buy us slippers since we always worked in the rice field. And after we sold our sweet potato vegetable, we hit the wet market in Calbayog City. Wow, that was a good market. And we bought us a few goods, groceries, and the bicycle ride back home to our Nipahat was heavy. And the look of my grandma's happy face saying she was proud of us that we came home and our basins was empty. We sold all of our vegetables. Plus my little brother Merlito was so excited because we had some candies, Skyflakes crackers, all good treats for us as a kid. To make the long story short, I remember we all moved again to a cross island from Calbayog City to Mactan, Santo Niño, Western Samar. It was an hour ride by a boat. Same situation, just different town. We still didn't go to school. And my grandpa Bartolome, we called him Ome for short. And my grandma Juana, my uncle Vicente, my cousin Piping, my little brother Merlito, and I were building another Nipahat again. I can't remember how long we lived in this town or how old I was because we never celebrated our birthdays. All 3 of us kids, we never had a birthday. And to make the long story short again, in this town, my father and my stepmother arrived. And a few days later, me and my little brother Merlito were saying goodbye to my grandma, my grandpa, and Piping. I remember Grandma was crying and Piping's face was confused. Maybe because why his mother never showed up. I remember I was confused. As the boat was leaving away from the island, I was angry to my grandparents because overnight they just let them take us away. I remember being on the big boat, almost like a cruise ship, from Calbayog City to Manila. in missing my grandma all night. Missing my grandpa, missing Piping, all of them in that neighborhood. So I promised to myself, I don't want to be like my parents or grandparents. Why my grandma and I always had this question until even now sometimes. Why my grandma and grandpa let my father and my stepmother come and get us? You know, they didn't fight for us. They could have fighted for us. And then I don't want to be like my father either. After he abandoned the kids, and he had all the rights to take us back after we're almost halfway raised. And they didn't come and get me because they love me and my brother. They came and got us because we were old enough to be their slave. That's how I see it. But as a kid, what can we do? You know? And I don't know how many years we live in Manila, San Andres, Bukid. And someone sent a telegram to my uncle in San Andres, Bukid. And it says that my grandma passed away. I never got to see her again. I'm sharing this, guys, not to judge my parents or my grandma, really. You know, I keep repeating this in my head sometimes. All the questions sometimes, but there's no answer. You're just gonna have to figure out as you get older. And I always look back to these memories because these memories, you know, it keeps me going and helps me to figure out what I need to do in my life, in my own family, you know. You know, it's not true what they're saying. We always hear this. Forget about your past. You know, think about your future. I always think about my past because